Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets and drama. So I'm back for another Roscoe's recap, and this week's viewing party was for season 15 episode 8, and the guests were Jax from season 15, Naomi Smalls from season 8 and All Stars 4, and Vanessa Vanjie Mateo from season 10 and 11. Today we're going to be talking about Robbie Turner's Uber scandal, why Dax exclamation point left the season 8 group chat, and Jax confirms whether the season 15 lip sync Lollapalooza was rigged. All that and more coming up in today's video, so let's get started. Please note that because we're going to be talking about the outcome of certain episodes of Drag Race, there is a spoiler alert in place for this video. They started off by talking about the beginning of the episode when Lucy LaDuca was annoyed about not being in the top in last week's acting challenge. And host Naysha Lopez said that it was, quote, so annoying, and jokingly asked Jax if Lucy was really that delusional or not, and everyone laughed. Jax said that it wasn't a sense of delusion and said that Lucy has a background in musical theatre and acting and is something that she is expected to excel in, so when she didn't excel in the challenge it was tough for her. They then moved on to this week's challenge, which was the lip sync Lollapalooza, and when they were picking people's names for the lip sync using the bingo ball machine, Vanessa wondered whether that was fixed by production, and she made a joke about Naomi and the conspiracy theory. Just to explain, Naomi Smalls was a guest at Roscoe's a while ago, and she revealed that during the lip sync Lollapalooza on All Stars 4, when the pit crew came out with the boxes to choose the lip sync songs, Naomi saw people from production putting the same song name in each box to make sure that production could control which contestants got which song. I did talk about this in a previous video, so make sure you check out that for the full story. I'll put a link in the description. Anyway, Vanessa made that comment and Naomi laughed, and Vanessa said that Naomi was the reason that they didn't use the boxes anymore. And Naysha said that the balls in the bingo thing could be controlled by production, but the queens getting to pick who they want to lip sync against is more difficult to control. And Naysha asked Jax if they were told by production who to pick, and Jax said no. They were then talking about the actual lip syncs, and Jax said that the lip syncs were much longer in real life and they were all cut down a lot in the edit. And Naysha asked what Jax thought about the episodes being cut down in general, and Jax said that she was really, quote, upset that a lot of the storylines and relationships got cut from the season. And she said, for example, that she was really close with Robin Fierce and had known her for 6 years before Drag Race. And Jax also got really close with Aura Mayari during the season, but those relationships weren't shown. And Jax said that when she lip-synced against Aura and Robin in the previous episodes and sent them home, it was a lot more emotional than what was portrayed in the edit. They then got onto the part in the episode where Jax got eliminated and everyone cheered for Jax. And Naysha then asked the guests what the hardest part of getting ready for Drag Race is. And Jax said that for her, the hardest part was getting all of the outfits ready, and Jax said that she made 80% of her outfits herself because, quote, I have no money. And Jax even said that she reached out to several designers before Drag Race and said that she is not sample size, so everything would have to be custom made and really tailored, and apparently a lot of designers just didn't respond to Jax because of that. Naysha then said that the subject of the Drag Race episodes being so short has been a really big topic within the community, and Naysha asked Jax if there was anything cut from the season that she wished had been kept in. Jax said that she wished that they had shown more of her and Aura's storyline, and Jax said that she and Aura had a really in-depth discussion about being the only person of colour in a room, and said that she won't ever cause an issue or go up to a police officer because, quote, it somehow ends up being my fault. And Jax said that she wishes that more of Aura's storyline had been shown, and said that Aura had been portrayed on the show, quote, in a very strange light, but said that Aura is not like that in real life and is a really great person. Naysha also asked the other two guests if anything got cut out of their seasons, and Vanessa said that on season 11, in the Untucked episode where Silky Nutmeg Ganache was arguing with Evie Oddly and said the famous line of, quote, I was ready to do so, apparently Vanessa also had an argument with Ariel Versace, but that wasn't shown. Vanessa said that in the episode, she was trying to stand up for Silky and was being the mediator, but apparently Ariel said, quote, act the fool. And this is ironic because the person who originally said that was Alexis Mateo in All Stars 1, and Alexis is Vanessa's drag mother. Anyway, Vanessa said that she and Ariel had an argument in Untucked, but they are okay now. And Vanessa said that there's a reason why some things get cut out of the episodes if they don't fit in with the main storylines of the season, which is probably why Vanessa and Ariel's argument got cut out of the final edit. And Naomi talked about season 8, which Naysha Lopez was also on, and Naomi said that in episode 1, they had done their entrances and RuPaul walked in, and apparently the power went out and they all had to be evacuated into a holding room. And Naysha said that she didn't remember any of that, but Naomi turned to Layla McQueen, who was also in the audience at Roscoe's, but you couldn't see her on camera, and Naomi asked if Layla remembered that, and Layla confirmed that it was true. And Naomi said that it was good that they got evacuated because all the contestants got to talk to each other a bit more while they were waiting to go back into the workroom. And Naysha said that she didn't remember that happening and said that Naomi, quote, has fond memories and I have trauma. And Naysha said that she had blocked the whole thing out. They then moved on and Naysha asked who the guests were friends with from their season and who they are still friends with. And Naomi joked and said that, quote, Dax left the group chat, and she was referring to Dax exclamation point, who also competed on season 8. Naysha laughed and said that she can understand why Dax left the group chat and decided to tell the story of what happened. Naysha said that back when they were on season 8, when the first episode premiered, the whole cast would travel around to different cities and do a viewing party of the first episode, and apparently Bianca Del Rio was the host of it. Naysha explained and said that in at least 2 different cities, they all got into the van to drive to the gig, but they would count to make sure that all the queens were there, and twice they accidentally forgot about Dax and drove off without her. And Naysha said that another time they accidentally left Dax at the airport in Austin, Texas and drove off without her. Naysha explained and said that Dax, quote, doesn't talk, and implied as though people forgot about her because of that. And the other reason was that Bianca was also in the van, so when they were counting all of the queens, they would count Bianca as part of the group and then they forgot that Dax wasn't actually there. And Naysha said that because of all of that, she can understand why Dax left the group chat. Naysha then brought up season 8 contestant Robbie Turner and asked Naomi if she had spoken to Robbie, and Naomi said, quote, I would love to. Just to quickly explain in case you don't know, back in 2018, Robbie Turner once tweeted and said that she was in an Uber after a gig and said that the Uber had crashed and the driver had died. At first, people were concerned about Robbie and supported her, but then Uber, as well as the local police, said that there were no accidents or fatalities reported on the night in question. And eventually, Robbie confirmed that the crash never actually happened and it was just a dream. And in an interview, Robbie gave several reasons and said that she thinks that her drink might have been spiked, and she also said that she may have slipped in the shower. And Robbie posted on Instagram in 2018 confirming that the crash never happened and has not posted anything since then. And Robbie appears to have disappeared from public life ever since. I did talk about the Robbie Turner incident in a previous video, so make sure you check that out and I'll put a link in the description. Anyway, Naomi said that she would really like to see Robbie again because she and Robbie both filmed their season 8 promos together, and Naomi said that Robbie was, quote, the funniest queen I had ever met in my entire life. And Naomi said that she's sad that Robbie has gone through what she went through and hopes that Robbie will, quote, resurface one day. And Naomi said that she could make a comeback as long as it was done the right way. And Naomi made the point that a lot of other drag queens have done a lot worse things and they haven't been cancelled because of it. Naysha then explained the story and said that, quote, there was this one queen called Robbie Turner and one day she woke up and decided I'm going to lie. Naysha then went on to explain and said that she didn't understand how Robbie thought that she would get away with it because Uber did an investigation into it and that's how they found out that Robbie was lying. And Vanessa asked why Robbie had made up that story and Naysha said, quote, she decided that she wanted to lie that day. And Naysha then said, quote, "And now she works for Uber." And Naysha said that she was kidding and everyone in the audience started laughing. But then it looked like the other host, Caramel, said that Robbie really does work for Uber, and Naysha said, quote, "She really does work for Uber," and laughed. But it's not clear whether they were just joking or not, but they did say it several times. And Naysha said that you shouldn't lie because it can negatively affect people, but she said that she thinks that Robbie has learned from her mistakes. And Naomi brought up the fact that Sherry Pie, who was disqualified from season 12, is now doing drag again and people are paying her for it. And Jack said that she found out that Sherry had done a few private events in New York, and when they found out, quote, "We were all up in an effing tizzy about it." And Naysha brought up the interview that Sherry had done on the Tamron Hall show, and Naysha said that Sherry didn't really apologise for her actions and questioned why Sherry was given a platform to speak rather than the victims. They then moved on to the audience Q&A, and an audience member asked Naomi about the All Stars 4 lip sync, where Naomi lip synced against Monet X Change to Come Rain or Come Shine, and Naomi ended up choosing for Manila to be eliminated. And apparently after the lip sync, Naomi asked RuPaul during the recording of their podcast episode what RuPaul thought of the lip sync, and apparently RuPaul joked and said that Naomi should have used a steamer on her outfit because it was wrinkly. Naysha then asked Naomi if production gave her any trouble for picking Manila's lipstick, or if production got involved in any way. And Naomi said no, and said that it was only the camera people there and not the producers, and apparently Naomi really leaned into the moment and was posing for a long time with Manila's lipstick, and the camera operators apparently had to tell Naomi to stop because she was doing too much. And Naomi also confirmed that she and Monet had not discussed what they were going to do beforehand, so she didn't know that Monet had also picked Manila's lipstick. They then moved on to the Untucked for that episode, and Caramel asked about the previous fight in Untucked between Malaysia Babydoll Fox and Marsha. And Jack said that it went on for a lot longer than what was shown, and they were going backwards and forwards for about 30 minutes, but it's because they were all stressed out in the competition and they were all arguing with each other all the time, but not all of it was shown. Caramel then asked about the moment in episode 3 where Jax moved Sugar to the other end of the table, and Jax said that the reason she did that was just because no one was writing anything down, so Jax decided to move closer so that she could write stuff down. But Jax said that the situation got, quote, misconstrued, and apparently Jax texted Sugar after the episode aired and apologised about it, and they're both totally fine about it now. Naysha then asked Jax who on season 15 has been portrayed in the least accurate way so far. And Jax said that Lucy LaDuca has been portrayed as being very intense and competitive, and Jax said that Lucy is, quote, coming across harsher than she really is. But Jax said that Lucy isn't really like that, and she's actually a really lovely, helpful person. And finally, Jax talked about her elimination and the fact that the other queens were not on stage. And Jax said that she is good friends with season 14 contestant Jasmine Kennedy, who also had a similar experience, and apparently that was the part that Jasmine was the most upset about on her season. And Jax said that she was also really upset that she didn't get to say goodbye to her sisters when she was eliminated. But luckily, she now gets to go on the road with her season 15 sisters, and they've developed a real bond since the show. So there you go, there was the Roscoe's recap for season 15 episode 8. What did you think of the lip sync Lollapalooza? And who do you predict will win season 15? Let me know in the comments. Please make sure you like, comment and share this video as it really helps support my channel. And of course, please make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me again in future videos. Thank you, bye!